Let's start a new Xcode project. It's going to be an augmented reality app, of course, and I'm going to call this Solar System. Make sure you've got Swift and SceneKit. Click Next. I'm going to save this on my desktop. Okay, so same again in this section. I'm going to show you everything in the scene editor, and then we are going to do the same with code. So in this the first part, I'm going to do everything in SceneKit first. So let's just delete the ship we have in here, and I'm going to rename actually this Solar System, and here as well, Solar System. And make sure you do this now. Maybe actually let's just have camel case here as well, Solar System SCN, and in the view controller I'm going to change this as well, Solar System.scn. Cool. Okay, so in this solar system here, what we are going to need is the sun in the middle, and then we'll have some planets around from with different shapes. Well, shapes not, but size, colors. We will also add some particle systems with for the stars. We'll add some rings to Saturn as well. So let's get started first by building the sun and our different planets. So to do this, we are going to use a sphere like this, and I'm going to make it, how big should we make this? Let's say about 15, 16, yeah. That's okay. So let's make sure it's positioned exactly in the middle, so at the origin, one input 0, 0, and 0, like this. And in the materials inspector, so the diffuse is going to be yellow, but because the sun in itself is a light, we will also have an emission light, which means that even in the dark, the sun will always be yellow. Okay, so if you put some lights in this scene, you won't see any shadows or shading on the sun, thanks to the emission here. Okay, then we will start adding more planets. So let's just zoom out, and I'm going to add them one by one. If we copy them across, we will have problems with materials. So let's just add, let's say 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. And in here, let's just select those. Actually, we can start renaming here the sun. And our 4 planets here, let's just take them one by one and start to put them a bit further like this. So we know that they are all aligned now, and they are just at different distances from the sun. Can't see anything, so let me just change this procedural sky, and actually I'm going to be making this very dark because after all we're in space. Okay, so you can see now how this starts to take shape. I'm going to change the dimension for each of those as well. So first we would have Mercury, which is actually very small. Then we have Venus, and we have the Earth. and then further we'll have Saturn over there. Okay, cool. So the first planet here, so Mercury, I'm going to make this red. Venus is going to be, what color should we do? Some pink, purple like this, and then the Earth has to be blue. Okay, and then Saturn here, we'll do some sort of yellowish, green, yellow. Okay, I can't see colors anyway, I'm a bit colorblind, so there you go. Okay, so we have now our planets. Let's add some rings to Saturn here, for example. So if I zoom here and look for a tube, like that. So let's rename Saturn and add the tube inside. Now the tube is going to be, so it needs to be bigger than it is now. So the height is smaller, let's say just 1 centimeter. The outer radius is going to be, yeah, 140, and the inner radius, okay, let's just say, yeah, about 120. Okay, and then let's make sure it's exactly in the center of the planet itself, so 0 everywhere. Okay, we can add a tiny little bit of angle like this, and then what we could also do is to just keep the Option key, drag up like this, and for this one we're going to change the scale. So notice that here if I want to change the inner radius or the outer radius, they will both change, and that's not good for me. So what I can do though to affect only one of them is to go here and change the scale. So here I'm going to say that I want 1.5, and the Z I want 1.5 as well. Okay, so let's just put that back in, and this one let's just put it back as well to 0 and 0 like that. Okay, cool. Okay, so last thing we can do now is for this tube to have, or those rings, actually we could call them rings. Ring and outer ring. Okay, so let's just change this color. So what am I going to do? Actually, let's just make this a bit more green, like that. Okay. All right. I think we can maybe change this inner radius a little bit. What about the outer radius? Like that. Yeah, that's actually not bad. It's really big. But yeah, not bad. Not bad for a couple minutes of code without code. In the next session, I will show you how to animate those around the sun.